There's so much advice out there about how to improve your life, but honestly, most of it is just noise. So in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all of that. We're going to uncover what actually creates lasting change, moving way beyond those temporary fixes to build a genuinely better you. So let's dive in.
All right, tell me if this sounds familiar. It's the beginning of the year, you're all fired up, right? You make these big, bold promises to yourself about everything you're going to change. But then life happens, and the change doesn't.
This is a pattern that the personal development expert Brian Tracy talks about a lot. It starts with this big rush of enthusiasm, but that fizzles out pretty quick, doesn't it? It turns into, doing the thing, sometimes, and before you even realize it, you've quietly slipped right back into your old habits. It's a super frustrating loop, but here's the good news. You can absolutely break.
To break that cycle, the very first thing we have to do is take apart the biggest myth that's holding us back, this idea that a new date on the calendar somehow has magical powers to change our lives.
Here's the real truth of it. The number on the calendar means nothing. Real, deep, lasting improvement isn't some big event that happens on January 1st. Nope, it's the sum of all the tiny decisions you make and the small actions you take day in and day out.
So let's get to where the real work actually begins. And spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with grand resolutions. It's all about a massive shift in how you see your own life.
Okay, this next idea, it can be a little tough to swallow. I get it. But it is so empowering once it clicks. This quote flips the script from you being a victim of your circumstances to you being the architect of your own reality. Think about it. Every bad habit you tolerate, every boundary you let someone cross, every single excuse you accept, all of it adds up to the life you're living right now.
The answer, then, is to raise your personal standard. And this isn't about what you do when you feel motivated and amazing. This is your baseline. It's your non-negotiable set of rules for yourself, especially for those days when you really don't feel like it. It's who you are when nobody's looking.
And this is where most of us get it completely backward. We sit around waiting for that bolt of lightning, for inspiration to strike before we do anything. But the real secret is, you have to act first. Action is what creates momentum. And inspiration shows up once it finds you already in motion. So, if we can't rely on these fleeting feelings like inspiration or motivation, what can we rely on? Well, let's talk about the real tools that build real, lasting change.
Look, let's just reframe this. Motivation is not your friend. It's a liability. Why? Because it's an emotion. And just like any emotion, it comes and goes. It's totally unreliable. Discipline, on the other hand, isn't a feeling at all. It's a choice. It's the muscle you build that shows up for you day in and day out, whether it's a good day or a bad.
And this one? Oh, this is the perfectionist's trap that we all fall into. That perfect plan, the one you're going to start tomorrow. All that does is make you really good at procrastinating. But taking one messy, imperfect action today, that starts building the identity of someone who actually does things. And finally, willpower. We talk about it like it's this heroic strength, but it's really more like your phone battery. It just runs out, especially when you're tired or stressed. But systems are the charger. They're the structures you build that automate good behavior and totally carry you through when your willpower is at 0%.
So how do we build these systems that have our back when willpower gives out? It all starts with being intentional about the world immediately around you.
We love to think we're these creatures of pure logic, that we're in complete control. But the honest truth is, our environment has a huge vote in what we do. Real change isn't about fighting temptation 24/7. That's exhausting. It's about designing your life so that the right choice is the easiest choice. So here are 3 super practical ways to do that. First, just master the basics. If you're not sleeping or eating well, you've got no foundation. Second, control the start and end of your day. These are your bookends, and they set the tone for everything else. And third, you have to be ruthless. Become a bouncer for your own life and get rid of the things that are draining all your energy and focus. I love this perspective. Setting up your life to win isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of intelligence. It's strategic. You're not avoiding challenges, you're just saving your precious, finite energy for the ones that actually matter. And now we get to the real heart of it all. All these things, raising your standards, building discipline, designing your environment, they're not just about changing what you do. They're about fundamentally changing who you are.
See, this is where the most profound shift happens. You move away from that mindset of constant struggle, of always trying to be better, of always falling short.
And you step into a new identity, one where performing at a high level is just who you are. It's not a project anymore, it's your new operating system. The goal isn't just to act disciplined, it's to become a disciplined person.
So what does that look like in the real world? It means your desired behavior just becomes your default setting. That internal debate you have, the one about whether you should do the hard thing or not, it just fades away. There's no negotiation anymore, because this is just what you do now.
And this right here, this is the whole game. This is the end goal. To completely separate your actions from your feelings. To operate from commitment, not from your current mood. When you get to this point, you're basically unstoppable, because you're no longer a victim of how you happen to feel on any given day.
So if we boil it all down, here's the biggest takeaway. True, lasting improvement is not a project that you start and finish. It's a new standard that you decide to live by. It's not about what you do once in a while, it's about who you decide to be every single day.
Which really just leaves us with one final question. And it's not about what you'll do next year, or next month, or even tomorrow. Based on the standard you want to set for your own life, who do you decide to be right now, today?